Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge Chäos Nur. Und ja, Kosopi hat uns hier zu Senna geführt. Mal sehen, was das jetzt noch Lustiges werden kann. Nachdem wir schon herausgefunden haben, dass Kosopi ein bisschen Psychopath ist. From the sound of it, Kosopi had reached Senna's mind. Speaking of, I'd seen Senna eating crunchy coons in the past. With Weiter right around the corner, I wasn't sure why she had been eating popsicles of all things. Guess she just really liked them. Announcing that with her inner voice, Kosopi clung to Senna and pulled her along. Oh man. I tried to turn her down so I couldn't get out of there already, but... Kosopi started tearing up almost immediately. Her teary eyes looked up at me as she silently pleaded with me. On top of that, Senna was glaring at me like she was ready to rip my throat out with her teeth at any moment. Okay, it looked like Kosopi had scored a critical hit on Senna with her teary assault. Urging me to follow, I reluctantly trailed behind her, heading towards the convenience store right behind the police station. After buying each of us a crunchy coon, we sat near the handrails in front of the police station, nibbling away at them. While Kosopi looked delighted as could be, Senna's air of indifference remained the same. I was stressing out. The police were right there in the station in front of us. And yet, despite that, they paid no mind to the fact that the two people with me were in utter violation of the Sword and Firearms Control Law. Ja, die konnten das ja auch nicht sehen, Junge. Hast du es erkannt? The police were supposed to police... The police were supposed to police people. The girls were right in the line of sight, but they didn't even try to arrest them. In fact, they didn't even care enough to slap us with a warning. Now that Kosopi pointed out, I just went screw it and started eating my crunchy corn. So it was bothering me how people were staring. So I was supposed that was only fair. Senna and Kosopi were cute as hell, and the very idea that two small-chested sisters like them were hanging out with an otaku freak like me, just sitting and eating crunchy coons together out in the cold, well, it was all pretty absurd. Maybe I was overthinking it. I couldn't block out the snickering in my ears. Was I just hearing things? Was it another auditory illusion? Or was it just Kosopi laughing? Ja, Kosopi kann das mithören, das weißt du. Oder mitlesen. I didn't want to stand out. I didn't want to be looked at. I was afraid of people gazing at me. I probably should have worn ahead. Seriously, I really wanted to get out of here this second. I continued hurriedly eating my crunchy bite, left my body feeling even colder. This was gonna give me diarrhea real bad later. How were those two not freezing? Not this guy. So she had been the one who had looked after me. Kosopi was attempting to gesture widely in an attempt to explain how things went down. But since her left hand was busy holding her colossal sword, she was just waving the other around all spastically. Which of course was the same hand that held her crunchy coon. She had only taken a single bite of her crunchy coon before launching it into the air with a perfect arc. The popsicle soared through the sky before eventually landing smack dab in the middle of the road where it splattered to pieces. Kosopi was on the verge of tears as she stared at what remained of her popsicle. Boogie.
アイスのことじゃない。理想度のことだ。
Senna held out her half-eaten gun to Calliope, seemingly giving up what she had left. Still a bit teary-eyed, Calliope smiled as she accepted the popsicle with a bow of her head. Color me surprised. I guess even Senna had her moments. Speaking of those assholes, who exactly had turned them to mincemeat? Calliope or me? The hell did that mean? I'd never heard of that before. That was just as cryptic as the gigolo whatever thing from earlier. Oh, a bit more detailed here. Like, how does it work? Whereas in Calliope, it was Senna who had answered what was on my mind. Senna shot me a scornful glance as I tilted my head in puzzlement. The hell was that look for? Sure, I may look like an idiot, but I'm pretty damn smart when it comes down to it, you know? I was pretty sure that Dreadicuz was a concept relating to quantum mechanics. Anders gesagt, das was Taku, also nicht das mit dem Erasen, aber das mit dem Erschaffen, war das was Taku mit dem Bett, mit dem Blumenbeet gemacht hat. Right, I remember Senna mentioning that before. 世界の仕組みは3つの数字で全て説明できる。0と1、そしてマイナス1。ディソードはそのマイナス1を生み出すためのショートカットにね。This was all giving me a headache. 周囲の人間に共通の認識となると妄想が現実になるってどういうこと？例えば、お前が今手にしているガルガリ君、お前にはどう見える？どうって、水色をしたアイス。その水色のアイスは本当に現実だと証明できるか？ I mean, what else would it be? It was a crunchy cone. Anyone with eyes could see that, and anyone with a mouth could feel how cold it was with every bite. I would think that would be a pretty obvious answer.
目で見たものを脳が認識して初めてそれが水色のアイスと理解できる。でも脳が本人の意識しないままに嘘をついている可能性だってあるんだぞ。脳が生み出した自分一人だけがそう思い込んでいる妄想かもしれないんだ。
じゃあどうやって現実だって証明するの？
他の人もお前の持っているものが水色のアイスであると観測すれば、それは2人以上の人間の共通の認識となる。お前一人だけの妄想じゃなくなるんだ。妄想を現実にするときにはそれを逆説的に捉えればいい。
To break it down, then a person's solitary delusion could become reality by forcibly showing it to someone, and this could be done by using particles created by a D-sort to attain visual recognition or something along those lines. Then, did I have that power too? Ich sag mal, muss man sozusagen, Kosopi ist nicht gerade die hellste Person. Kosopi returned Sender's Crunchy-kun, then trotted back towards the road. Then in front of all the people walking along the road, for some inexplicable reason, she suddenly began whirling around her D-sort wildly. I shielded my eyes. So those were in her true colors. In the end, she was nothing more than a homicidal maniac. Any second now, the road would become a sea of blood. Anyone crossing paths with that colossal blade would have their body torn to pieces. If a police station right in front of us, they would catch her in the act. It would be an open and shut case. Why was it so quiet? A whole crowd had just gotten mowed down with a sword in broad daylight right here in the heart of Shibuya. And yet there hadn't even been a single scream. The cops hadn't even intervened. I slowly uncovered my eyes. Nothing had happened, nothing at all. Kosopi, looking a tad embarrassed, was still brandishing a colossal sword. You would think the sword would have struck anyone nearby, or maybe some railing, or even the ground, but no. Not a thing was damaged. If anything, the sword was passing right through everything, as if everything else was an illusion. Wait a second, actually I added backward. It was the sword that lacked substance. The people walking around us weren't bothered in the slightest, they couldn't see the sword. Ding ding ding! Ayase had said something along those lines, that the swords could only be seen by those who possessed the power. Standing next to me, Senna let out an exhausted sigh before taking another bite of her crunchy-kun.
あのディソードは今は小杖の作ったエラーでしかない。周囲共通認識はまだ成立していない。
リアルブートしたらみんなに見えるようになるのです。
Real booting? That would mean sending particles into the dead spots of surrounding observers. Yeah, not that I knew what the hell a dead spot even was. Tolle Beschreibung. Can you please explain with anything other than sound effects? Still, I think I got the picture. Slishy slashy was probably for cutting, and smashy crash was for hitting? What was this girl going around cutting and hitting? Did Kosopi seriously do such horrifying stuff like that? And what about me? Did I have the power to do that too? No, I wasn't special. I wasn't a gigalomaniac. And in the end, I hadn't even been able to obtain a D-sword. I'm telling you, it's not good. It's no good, even back at our front, it just didn't work. Sure, I did see a sword there, but I had zero clue how to actually grab it. Kosopi peered at Senna as if to urge her to do something. Senna let out another sigh.
バイオリズムの上昇によって中脳変影系ニューロンのドーパミンが過剰分泌されたとき、ディソードが現れる。
Jupp. Eine ganz normale Erklärung.
それは危機的な状況や興奮、悲しみ、憎しみ、笑いなど人それぞれだ。ドーパミン分泌量が多ければ それだけ観測しやすくなる。
匠さん、そういうことなのら。
It was just absurd how wide Senna's knowledge was. She might very well be an outright genius. I mean, with explanations this detailed, you would think she had majored in gigalomaniacology, if that was even a thing. For starters, I couldn't imagine there being any other girl in all of Japan who could sports theories and jargon off the top of their head to this degree. Where on God's green earth had she studied literally any of that? What was with all the mysterious characters accumulating around me? I was dying for an answer. Thinking about it all just wore me out. It sucked ass, only half understanding what was going on. But I didn't have the strength to look into it myself. Because none of these people were normal in the slightest. Ja, okay, du bist auch nicht normal. Grappling with those feelings of bitterness, I took one last bite of my foreign crunchy roll. I won. I said win on what was visible of the stick. Colby came back and peered into my hand.
匠さん、すっごいね。
大した運だな。
Lucky
セナ
bit.
さん、自分も当たりが出てほしかったって羨ましがってるのら。
そんなことは思っていない。
I doubt Colby could be so easily fooled here, given her ability to read everything on someone's mind.
セナさんはいつも当たりが出ないかなとワクワクしながらガルガリ君を食べてるのら。当たりを引いたのはどれくらい
1割3分7厘。
I have a win rate of 13.7%. Sie hat sich ihre Gewinnrate ausgerechnet. Oh, aber der Blick dabei. She really had the stuff down to science. Did she calculate all that every time she ate one? Finishing her crunchy as well, she gave the leftover stick a quick layer, only to let it out a quiet snort. She must have lost. Or at least her face made it look that way. Komm. Die nächste Illusion.
よかったらどうぞ。
I timidly held out my winning stick.
他人に施しを受けるつもりはない。私は自分の可能性を試しているだけだ。
でも本心では欲しいって言ってるね。
あげますよ。僕アイスはあんまり食べないし。
Mal sehen, was für eine Delusion wir uns jetzt kicken. Sinner pursed her lips and then she nervously accepted the popsicle.
ありが
I
とう。
was lost for words, astonished. I would have never imagined that I would ever get to hear Sinner thank me. Likely unaware of my surprise, Sinner glanced at
お
me.
前優しいな。
Muttered those few words quietly, then immediately looked away. Was it just me or had she just been blushing a little bit just now? Well, she had given me an honest thank you, which was enough to make me re-evaluate her a little bit. And originally just thought that she was scary and nothing else, but she actually had a cute side to her.
セナさんは今ので。
Gulpy spun around in the place, peered happily at Senna's face and then at mine.
匠さんのこと好きになっちゃったのら。
小杖、何をバカな。
顔がプッポーってなってるの。
うるさい、うるさい。
Oh man. Oh, did she have any idea what she had just said? The mother of all thunders, blue-eyed June's signature catchphrase. I started to grin out of sheer glee and Senna's fingers shut in front of my face.
お前もニヤニヤしてるんじゃない。
I had never seen Senna act so adorable and agitated before. I was starting to feel a bit mischievous, so I decided to test her.
ガルガリ君は好きですか？
悪い。
どの辺が？
美味しいだろ。
それだけ。
あと可愛い。
He is cute. While she was still silent, Senna then said something that was incomprehensible to me.
かわいい。
Oh man. Had she just gendered a popsicle? And also, how could popsicles be cute or even
アイ
uncute?
スがじゃないからな。ガルガリ君が可愛いんだ。
Oh, she was talking about the mascot. Cute?
あのイガグリ頭が最高だ。抱きしめて頬ずりしたくなる。
Okay, the expression on the face was actually spoken memory of a man in love. Very different strokes for different folks, I guess.
それよりお前、
たくみさんですよ。
たくみちゃんなの？
違う。シャンはつけなくても。
名前は？
I had the feeling I'd already told her my name before. She had probably just forgotten it.
西条匠です。
だったら西条。もうこれ以上エラーを作るのはやめておけ。
は？
But why not? Das ist auch eine gute
自
Frage.
分の心なのら否定しちゃダメ。コズピーはこの剣のおかげで助かったよ。
Saved? What had happened in Kozupi's past? This question tied with her wish to the one where she had said she wanted to kill.
妄想を現実にする行為にはリスクがつきまとう。粒子とともに追生成される反粒子はディソードにストックされていくんだ。反粒子は数学的に言えば過去へ向かうものだから。ストックすればするほどギガロマニアックスには現在の状態とのズレが発生し、やがてその矛盾により存在としての自己崩壊へ至る。
In Japanese,
これ
please.
もあまりディソードを出すのをやめるんだ。普通に生活していきたいなら私の忠告を聞け。これはお前たちの命に関わる話だ。
It didn't look like Cinna was joking. Then again, she wasn't the type to joke anyway.
ましてや西条。お前はディソードなしでリアルブートした。本来ならそんなことできるはずがないんだ。ディラックの海にはディソードを通してしか干渉できないんだから。お前は普通じゃない。奴らに目をつけられてもおかしくない。
奴らって。
ギガロマニアックスの力を悪用しようとしている連中がいる。
それって将軍？
知らない。誰だそれ。
Kozupi, did Cinna just lie?
ついてないよ。
西条。将軍と。
The sheer chill in her voice sent shivers down my spine. Naturally, I couldn't look her in the eye. She grabbed me by the chest, making it hard to breathe. Oof, why did she have to be so violent? What had I even done wrong?
40代ぐらいの男か。
違うよ。小さなじいさんだよ。
Cinna immediately let go of me.
そいつもギガロマニアックスなの。
わからない。でもニュージェネの真犯人だよ。
真犯人だと。
Cinna pressed a finger on her chin, then began to ponder something while remaining completely still. The air felt volatile. I was hit with a strange feeling of anxiety. Cinna knew something. But what the hell did she know? Who were these people that were trying to abuse the power of gigalomaniacs?
そうだそうだ。3人で記念撮影しましょう。ほらあれ。
Ach ja, stimmt. Stimmt, ich erinnere mich an die Aktion. Sonikozu pointed to something as she spoke enthusiastically. She was pointing at the arcade next to the police station. When it came to taking commemorative photos, this was where it inevitably happened. Also, das ist schon schön. Senna mit ihrem Schwert und Kozupi mit ihrem Schwert und er so, fuck, in was für einer Scheiße bin ich hier eigentlich gelandet?
たくみさん、ほら真ん中。
いや、僕は。
セナさん、横見てたらダメです。
私はこういうの。
コズピーだって初めてなのだ。ドキドキ。
Oh man. Without once consulting us, Kozupi followed the instruction on the screen and pressed button after button. And before then I could get ready mentally and physically, a voice came from the screen.
ポーズパカ
Click. Gigalomaniac First Timers. Also, First Timers Gigalomaniac Trio. Okay, das Bild ist aber auch schön. Ah ja, stimmt ja. Und man sieht keins der Schwerter. In the picture we are taken, neither of the D-swords were visible.
ほいじゃあねまた明日なのら
With a small wave and a smile, Kulipi disappeared in the direction of the station, ticket gates. Senna and I watched her go. I would have preferred not to be alone with Senna, but it seemed like she wasn't in a leaving Shibuya mood yet. Maybe she was planning to start wandering around the area like she normally did. I wanted to head back home as soon as possible, but there was one thing I had to ask the resident Gigalomaniac Brainiac before I did. Even when I tried talking to her, the stern expression remained on her face. It was a lot better when Kulipi was here, but man, would it kill her to be a little more approachable? I assumed she had heard me. So while my heart might have been beating out of my chest, I asked my question anyway.
コズピーの心の声もギガロマニアックスの能力なの？
I didn't expect her to answer me. I expected her to just hit me with a condescending and just leave it at that. Senna glanced at me once, then shifted her eyes towards the jumbotron resting above the scrambling crossing.
心の声はいわば妄想だ。
She
小
replied.
杖はそれを他人のデッドスポットに送り込んでいるに過ぎない。仕組みはさっき説明したものと何も変わらない。送り込んだ粒子を映像ではなく音声に変換しているんだ。電話と同じだな。そして小杖から心の声という妄想を送り込まれたことで、お前と小杖の間で周囲共通認識が成立したんだ。テレパシーで会話しているように思えるが全然違う。
だったら僕の心の声はどうしてコズピーに届いたの？
I hadn't sent any delusions to Kulipi's dead spots, so if what Senna was saying was true, it should have only been a one-way conversation starring Kulipi. And yet, despite that, we had conversations with just our inner voices, several even.
ギガロマニアックスは他人の妄想を見ることができる。小杖は特にその能力が高い。他人が垂れ流す妄想をほぼ強制的に見せられていると言ってもいい。
See, delusions? Was such a thing possible? I definitely couldn't do that, and if I couldn't, then I probably wasn't actually a gigalomaniac. Suddenly, Senna looked farther away from me, her gaze shifting from the jumbotron to the crowds of people walking through the scramble crossing.
ギガロマニアックスとなったものは誰だろうと一度は壊れているんだよ。
壊れたって何が？
心がだ。小杖は東京に来る前、奴らに追い詰められて心を壊した。
And so Senna began to tell me about what Kulipi had experienced before she had transferred schools. She began by saying that she had seen it in an image, one that she had witnessed back when she first met Kulipi. Aber ich würde sagen, an dem Punkt werde ich jetzt diese Folge hier beenden. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.